climate change and geopolitical disruption, that was a challenge.
But something's a problem because Jayjeet, last year, okay, 2024, the highest ever bumper crop, okay, of wheat. So record production of wheat, record production of rice, record production of fruits and vegetables. So everything is on the record, right? So we are, it is not like there was a drought last year and we got stuck because of some El Nino, some kind of issues which keep happening because India is still monsoon dependent. So like I said, everything seems to be just fine. Every index tells you that we should be killing it. But the GDP index says we are not. Where have we gotten stuck?
Again, coming back to the point that government expenditure is 20% of the GDP. If you look at even the fiscal deficit numbers, they have improved, and that's not necessarily something to be celebrated because that just means the government did not spend what was budgeted. Once that spending happens, our economy is still dependent on government spending, and the government has been judiciously spending in the sense that it's not overspending. As it is, we have a significant portion of our revenue expenditure actually going into interest payments. So we wouldn't like to borrow too much, but there is a fine balance to be done.
Yeah.
And so coming back to your question, what's really ailing us? If everything looks good, what's ailing us is not really much. It is basically a temporary blip, is the way I would see it. Let's wait for the Q4 results in the next couple of months.
Okay, guys, because there are bottom lines. The bottom lines are very clear. The economic survey made it clear as well, and we all know it, right? We've got 22 years now. That's the deadline, self-imposed, self-volunteered deadline. 2047, developed economy, which means you'll have to grow at north of 8% every year from now till then. Okay. Some year will have to be 0 year, which means that's the first year you started growing at 8% to then hit a stride of 8% and more every year. Which is it going to be? Mithali, we just seem to be not getting past. Something happens, COVID happens, then COVID recovery. So other than the post-COVID correction, which of course you went into double-digit growth, but that of course is a cyclical thing. We've just not been able to, everything, I can see the highway. It's a great place to drive. I know the property prices on that highway have gone up. I know it's become expensive for me to go out and eat. So, I can see the markets are buzzing. I can see all sorts of fancy cars on the roads. It seems that the country is doing great, but the GDP figure says, yeah, we are okay, we can do better. Why?
So I think, Rishabh, that's because all of us have a partial view of the economy. So in the last 6 months or 8 months, thanks to my work, I've been traveling to not only the tier 1, but a lot of tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. And that's where you start to see the inequalities and the cracks. Because it's important to be able to explain that while a lot of benefits of growth have come into, the larger cities, have come into the top, consumption basket, and we have managed to create a lot of millionaires also. In fact, we've also managed to create dollar millionaires and dollar billionaires. But there is still a large portion of our economy which continues to be, say, even below poverty line or, remaining below a certain minimum consumption threshold. And therefore, it becomes important to say, how do you reach that 8% mark? You reach that 8% mark when a larger and larger proportion of your population starts to get the benefits of growth, starts to engage in that kind of consumption.
But like I said, we are almost at saturation, never before in the history of India, and giving everybody a house. We are almost at saturation and never before in the history of India and giving everybody water at home. We are consuming as a country 20 GB of data per person per month. That's almost a GB a day. Think about it. Do 800 million, okay? 800 million gigabytes of data are being consumed in India every single day. So it all looks like we've played all the cards. The country is doing well. We are the fastest growing economy in the world. We're going to overtake Germany as the 4th largest anytime now, probably already have. So there's no disaster, but it's just not that, it's just stubborn, not beyond 7%. So something needs to be stuck. So it can't just be that. I can see that in the tier 2, 3 tier towns, the property rates are skyrocketing, the malls have come up, airports are being built, the highways are being connected. So what's going on?
So, Rishabh, you very rightly said, we are seeing some amount of development happening in the tier 2 or tier 3, but that development also needs to be sustainable. So no one is denying that India is the fastest growing emerging economy in the world. It has been for the last 10 years. What we want to do is quicken that pace even further. And for that, we need two ingredients: sustainability and innovation. We need to see sustainability in the way we manufacture things. We are still using old processes. We need better labor productivity, capital productivity. And secondly, we need innovation. We need to be leading the world
Okay.
on a number of things like artificial intelligence.
Okay, I'm going to hold that. Okay, just hold that thought because I'm going to get Bindu Dalmia in. So, Bindu Dalmia, I'm